in open fields of wildflowers. She breathes the air and flies away. She thanks to Jesus for the daisies and the roses.
Hey ladies, I am sorry I have not made a video for a couple of weeks. Nothing really been going on. Last week I knew AF was on her way, so that's part of why I didn't make it. And then once she got here, I started my new cycle on April 18th. Once she got here, I was kind of like, wow, I have nothing to talk about in the blog. The only thing I did have different, I had received my Fertibella, and I was waiting for my new cycle to show up so that I could take that. And so that's what I did on cycle day 1, April 18th. I started taking my Fertibella. And so far it seems like it's okay. My flow this cycle seems like it was much lighter. I never had heavy flow. I only had medium flow for like 3 or 4 days, and then it was light and spotting, and I was done. Flow was 4 or 5 days this month. I think it was really only 4 days of actual bleeding, but it was never bad. So I'm not arguing. I'm hoping that the difference is because of the Fertibella, and that the difference that it has made with my flow at the beginning of my cycle, I'm hoping that it's going to change the end of my cycle and help my luteal phase. My luteal phase, I think, is where I'm seeing the problem with my cycle. My luteal phase has been hovering around like 8 to 10 days, which is not healthy. In order to get the best benefit from the luteal phase, ideally you want it to be like more than 10 days, but usually around like 12 to 16 is like the ultimate best luteal phase that you can have. So I'm hoping that this is going to make a difference in my luteal phase. We'll see in the next week or so whether my AviQ starts giving me colored boxes or not. I have noticed my numbers have stayed lower. I've only done vaginal readings for 2 days so far, yesterday and today, which I'm 3 days after my period, but I didn't do it the first day. I started it last night, doing my vaginal readings for my AviQ. But they are on the low side. So I'm hoping that that's going to be a good sign, and that when ovulation comes around, they'll be even lower. But usually already, my vaginal readings are jumping off way high at the beginning of the month, after I finish my cycle, and they're already, I think it was like 70 something yesterday and 90 today. So they're like phenomenal, and they're giving me hope for them being really low come ovulation time. So I'm hoping that when O shows up, they'll be really good. I am going to use my OPKs this month. Excuse me. I'm probably going to start those next week. But if I get colored boxes before then, I'll do them. Otherwise, if I don't start them next week, I'll start them as soon as I get the colored boxes, which is when I have been using them, but I use them so sparingly because I never get real good readings from my OPKs. I've only had one time where I had a without a doubt ovulation, and that was last month, during last cycle, whatever, and it was late, and I was just kind of taking it for the heck of it, and it was strange because when I got the positive OPK, it actually coincided with my purple box on my OVQ, which when you see the pictures at the beginning, you can actually see my purple box. It was on Friday last week, or not last week, like the week before last or something like that. But you can see it at the beginning of my OVQ picture. The first 2 weeks on there are the end of last cycle, and now the last 2 weeks on there are the beginning of this cycle. So, but I had pains and cramps associated with ovulation and my pink box showing up. And then I had the positive OPK that coincided with the purple box showing up. So last cycle was so strange. And I'm really hoping that the Fertibella is going to make a difference in this cycle. Considering what it's done for my actual flow, I've got really high hopes for it. And when you get the Fertibella, you get 2 bottles, one's blue and one's pink, but they say the same thing. All the ingredients in them are pretty much the same, except this one has progesterone and next cycle has estrogen in it. And it just comes in a pretty discreet box, covering my address. It's a pretty discreet box, really no identifying marks or anything, nothing on it that screams this person can't have babies. And then when you open it, it's got the sheet, and it's got a couple of ads too that I've already taken out. And then the 2 bottles are up here. The other one was in there. And then OPKs and HPTs. When you fill out the thing online to get it, it asks you whether you want 20 OPKs or 20 HPTs or 10 of each. I went ahead and did 10 of each because I have a lot of OPKs right now still, but I was starting to get low on HPTs. I think I only have like 2 HPTs left. I'm not really bad about HPTs because I get so down when I get negative. Even if I know it's going to be negative, it still just bums me out. So I'm not real bad on taking them. And OPKs, I'm not real horrible on using because, like I said, they just, I never get good positive results off them. So I'm hoping this month with the Fertibella, that will be different. Other than that, nothing else is really going on. We're just here. My husband is working. I have a job, but I'm like essentially just on call basis. They're not like keeping me on the schedule or anything. I'm really just there for if they need to call me into work. So this week I had no hours so far, unless I get called in sometime this week. But I did have an interview for a different job, and I think that went really well today. So I'm really hopeful for that. Yeah, that's really all that's going on. I am sorry that I hadn't gotten out a video before this. I was trying to keep my Facebook kind of up to date. If not through status messages, there were some of you that I've been just in general, conversation with through IM and stuff. So that's where that was. Facebook this last weekend just really kind of upset me. Some of the ladies in our community did not conduct themselves in an adult manner at all. And I was very disappointed to see the way that everybody acted this weekend, whatever. Well, I can't say everybody, how a few ladies acted. So things on there last weekend were just ridiculous, and the girls that were acting immature like they were, I am embarrassed for you, and you have no reason to do what you did. If you have any doubts or anything like that about somebody in our community, take it up with them privately. Do not put it on blast on Facebook like that. That is not your place to pass that kind of judgment, and that was absolutely ridiculous and absolutely uncalled for. I have unfriended several people that I know were involved in it, and I'm not going to have it in my Facebook. So that's the end of that. I see stuff like that happen again, I'll unfriend more people, because that going through what we're going through is discouraging enough. No matter what the circumstances are of what other ladies are doing, if there's something that one of them is doing wrong, it will come out one way or another. I can't say whether the people involved who was right and wrong, other than the girls who were making all the negative comments. It's not your place. We are all grown, and you all conducted yourself like some junior hires. I'm sorry, I'm 27 years old. I'm not junior high anymore, and I am thankful I'm not, because that is one drama I'm so happy to have behind me. And to see it plastered all over my Facebook page Friday and Saturday was so utterly disappointing. And I hope it's the last time that I ever see anything like that. So, end of that. I hope all of that's water under the bridge. And for the people who are involved that were being bullied, for lack of a better way to put it, I'm sorry. And hopefully you have been able to distance yourself from those parties. And if they carry on with that stuff, hopefully you don't have to see it anymore. And for the rest of us who've seen it, hopefully most of us, put them out of our friends and stuff also, so that we don't have to see it, because that just adds to stress that we do not need, and it was just uncalled for. So hopefully things will not be so crazy this weekend on Facebook. I'm hoping that it'll be a lot better. But nothing else really going on. I think we're good. And just the beginning of my video, the image that is on there is a painting. I'm not sure who it's by. Before I post this video, I'll get the information for it and I'll post it in the comment links. But it is a painting called Empty Womb, and it was a picture that I came across last year while my husband and I were in Pennsylvania, and I was going through my most depressive time with not getting pregnant. It was, for some reason, the most upsetting to me up there. When we were down in North Carolina, it was so. I would get upset when I found out I was pregnant. But last year in Pennsylvania, I really, really wish I would have been part of this community then, because I would have gone through it so much better. But that is just, I think the picture is beautiful. The colors in it and everything are a lot of colors that I like. But, I mean, the title of it is Empty Womb, and that's what I have right now. But I'm hoping to change that. But as long as I am TTCing, I think that is going to be my backdrop for opening my video. And then the song that was at the beginning of my video is a song by Jars of Clay, which is a Christian group. And the name of the song is Love Song for a Savior. If you had the Jars of Clay self-titled album, it was number 3 on that album. It was the same album that had the song Flood on it, which I think was number 7 or 8 on that album, which was the song that was on mainstream radio back in the 96, 97 time frame. But that is one of my all-time favorite Jars of Clay songs. And the reason why I'm associating that with my TTC time is I have my phone set to go off every morning for me to take my temperature and my OBQ reading, which it never gets done at that hour because I'm usually just barely starting to go to bed that hour. But that is my alarm sound. And I don't know why I picked that sound, other than the fact that it's one of my favorite songs, but it's just a pretty song to me. And I was gonna sing it one year at church, and I ended up getting cold feet and backing out on it and stuff. But it's still a powerful song to me, and that's why it's part of my TTC journey. I guess it's kind of become my anthem for TTC. So those are 2 things that you'll probably be seeing from now on, along with hopefully I can start putting my AvaQ fertility monitor pictures back in there, my Avograph ticker, and now also using my fertility friend chart. So nothing else really going on, and I'll go ahead and close this out for tonight. It's gotten kind of long. I'm really sorry. But we will talk to you next week, I guess. See you, ladies. Good night.